Test. Traders, investors, I hope you guys had a good weekend. Today is Monday the 12th, and we had a good pump. Over the weekend. I did end up selling half of my Bitcoin. Yes, that's what the title says. Not of my HODL wallet, but of my trading wallet, because that is my strategy, because money management is the number one thing for trading. Is you got to know when to get out, you got to know when to cut a loss, and you got to know when to take profits. Simple as that. You could be a dumbass and have a winning trade. Yeah, sorry, that's lack of a better word, but you know, it's true. We all know one dude that has made money, and you don't have to be smart to win at this. You have to be smart and disciplined to continue to win at this. Okay, so where did I take profit, and what was the reasoning behind it? So I took profit at 50%. Yeah, I'm only 7x leverage, so I'm not going crazy or anything, but I am expecting a big pump when it comes to the Ethereum merge that happens tomorrow to Thursday. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of volatility, I believe, is going to happen, because this is such a massive news event. Everyone is looking at this. And so that you guys can move my face, you can see where I took profit. I took profit at 22,200 because that was the deal. And just a brief overview of what my whole reasoning for 50% is I like to trade 50%. I like to take profit whenever my trades hit 50%, and I don't move my stops. Okay, I don't move my stops, so I'll just use this as an example here. Let me get this guy here. We'll use the real trade, okay? So this is Bitcoin. This is actually Ethereum, excuse me. This is Bitcoin. Let me move this sucker up so we can see better, so we can see the trade. And let me get stochastics out of the way, so you know it's just clear. It just clear. It looks nice. All right. So my stop is actually, guys, no shit, my stop loss was down here, okay? And where I took profit was 22,200. So I took profit right around this area in here, okay? Why did I do that? Well, for one, we have a set of resistance here. I knew that it was going to be hard for us to break through because it's just where the volume is. If I go into just looking at volume, boom, 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 okay, there's lots of volume right here, so I would expect it to get somewhere close. And when it comes to trading cryptocurrency, you can't be on the dot, okay? You can't say, hey, my stop is going to be 17,000 and then my take profit's going to be 19,000. Yeah, we all like those psychological even numbers, but so does the rest of the world. And all the professional traders that do this 60 hours a week, that have a huge team behind them, huge hedge funds, they know this stuff too. So they like to liquidate guys like that. Like here, for instance, here's the liquidation wick, another wick. Those big long wicks are blowing through those psychological levels. So I knew I was getting close, and therefore I decided to, let me open that back up, take the profit, right? I could have gotten more into maybe a couple $100 to squeeze out of that, but hey, you know, it is what it is. I took profit, and the trade is still open. I still have 50% of my position open, and I haven't moved my stop. And again, here's the key point. Why haven't I moved that stop? Because I need to be proven wrong, and my trading strategy is I take profit at 50%, don't move the stop. At my next take profit, that's when I move my stop up to break even, so that I actually lock in the full profits. So now I'm playing with house money, because since I didn't move my stop, you know, I keep saying that, guys, a lot, okay? But this could go all the way down to here, and then I get stopped out, and I just wasted my time, per se. You know, I have a zero, because if you think of just even numbers, 100%, right? I took 50% off the table, and so now if my trade goes down 100%, you know, I have less of the trade open, which is actually 50%, so I break out with zero. That's where both of my trades are with Ethereum and Bitcoin now, is I've both hit 50% profit, and now I'm playing with house money. For Bitcoin, I'm expecting us to break up through here, and my next take profit, well, I'll probably take, I haven't decided yet, but I'm thinking of taking at least another half, maybe 3/4 of the trade, and just leaving a small portion open, is when we get close to 24,000. Once we get close to 24,000, that's going to be the next area where I lock in the rest of the profit, and I almost close the position completely, right? Crypto Muscle in the chat, appreciate it. You're saying, did you long? Yeah, I did long. I longed not quite at the tweezer bottom. Okay, so let me break up just what my current trade is again. If my computer would load. Okay, so so we can see, I longed at 20,643. All right, I noticed that we had a tweezer bottom forming. That's what this guy is. It looks like a tweezer because you have two little wicks right at the bottom. Right, it wasn't an engulfing candle all the way up, but I figured, hey, this has got a potential to rebound. And, I feel that, hey, getting down below here was not really going to happen. And truthfully, if you followed me on my other streams and my TikTok, God, I feel like the bottom has already happened, because everybody is so bearish. Even a bunch of YouTubers out there that are just saying, hey, we're going to go down. We're going to go down. It's like, yeah, we could either go down or we could go up. It depends on price movement. Okay. It depends on how much money flows into the market. However, psychologically, when everyone is being a certain way, I feel that there's a good chance that it's going to go the other direction. Granted, I try to tell myself, hey, if it doesn't go this way, I'm going to get out and I'm going to reverse what I'm doing, because I don't need to hold on to a bias. Because if I hold on to a bias, therefore I'm going to lose even more money, because I'm going to get rid of my stop, and I'm going to add to a losing trade, and I'm going to catch a falling knife, and I'm going to break all my rules. Because in order to trade correctly, you got to have good money management skills, right? And you don't need to be biased to think this is going to happen. Because truthfully, guys, here, let me just zoom out. When we were at the whole $69,000, I can't tell you how many people in my DMs were going, we're going to 100, we're going to 250. And I'm just like, wow, that was a sign to where it was, hey, this is not good. And now the same sign in all my comment section, maybe not so much here on YouTube, because I don't have near the following as I do on TikTok, but man, everyone is calling for 2,000 Bitcoin, 5,000 Bitcoin. And it makes me giggle, because yeah, in a perfect world, that would be awesome for a lot of people to get in. But the funny thing is if Bitcoin went to $2,000, would people really be buying it? Right? More people would be thinking, oh no, it's going to go down even further. Oh no, it's actually, this asset is actually trash. It's not digital gold. It's literally trash. It's going to zero. So those people wouldn't be buying it anyway. They're calling for an arbitrary number, and they wouldn't buy it anyway, which I just find is silly. I've told you guys multiple weeks now that right now in a bear market, this is a good time to be getting into stuff, slowly getting into stuff. And what do I consider a bear market? Well, if you look outside, price of milk and blah, 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 you can tell that, things are expensive. The housing market, I got statistics this morning because I own some, real estate, and they were, telling me that, like, hey, 10,000 homes this time last year were on the market. Now, actually, there's 3,000 homes, and now there's 10,000. There's like 4 times as many homes on the market. But that's just showing this red line, truthfully, is the determining factor of a bear market. Is when we're hovering below that is bad. Okay. But anything below that, this is where all the money's made. All right. But if I'm going to trade, because I'm kind of contradicting myself here, because I'm sitting here saying, hey, I longed, and, it's a bear market, should be going down. Well, I'm telling you the reason why I longed. I longed because I saw a tweezer bottom, and I felt because of this Ethereum merge, we're going to bounce up. Do I think we're going to get back to 30,000? Maybe by the end of the year, maybe. If the Chairman Powell decides to cut rates, or if they decide to not raise rates by a whole percent, this probably in their next 2 weeks, I think the 22nd is when they get together, that might be another catalyst to kind of bump up stuff. But that's the 200-day is my red line. Orange line is 9. Green line is the 50. And the blue line is the 20. Just so you guys know. I mean, there's some trading strategies in there that I can tell you guys about at a later time. But I guess I'll just tell you right now. A good trading strategy, it usually works the best on later time frames, is it's called a cradle, is where you dip down below in the 9 and the 20. And every time you get in there, you can either long or short because it usually bounces off of that. Okay. But I got out for 50 cents, which was 50%, which was great because of this level right here. Okay. I do suspect that there's potentially going to be a further pump, but we might go down below. And it was important for me to take stuff off the table right away, because I get a lot of times people tell me, well, if you think it's still going up, why would you take profits? Well, because this isn't a long-term investing account. This is a trading account. I need to take it when it presents it to me, okay? And I just told you what my strategy was. At 50%, take profit. So now I have less weight off my chest because no matter what, I can't lose money, right? It's either I win money or I make no money, okay? I'm not moving my stop yet. I'll move my stop once we hit close to 24,000. And truthfully, that range of where I'll consider taking profit is probably pretty much like this. I don't have to wait till I actually hit the line. I'm going to get close, and I'm going to see what volume is doing and what the sentiment is right at the time. So that's my last little bit of the strategy. So that's what's going on with Bitcoin. We had this nice run up, and this is a nice kind of healthy retracement compared to tomorrow, right? People are taking profits waiting for what's going to happen the next couple days. And Ethereum, I already took profit, but I haven't moved my lines, guys. I haven't moved my lines since the last stream that I had. And it's very ironic how psychologic this stuff is and why, we're bouncing off of this. This is a hard resistance level to get through. And then boom, you can see the little rejection. So if you know that these areas of resistance and support are going to play a factor, why wouldn't you take profit right there? I know a lot of traders that like to short once we get boom, boom, boom here. Granted, I was down here as when I got into the trade. I got in the trade once we broke over this line relatively above 1,500, right? And, my next take profit is going to be at the 2,000. And let me just look at the volume here, right? There's a lot of buyers and sellers moving on here. But if we can somehow manage to break above here, really, truthfully, the next resistance level is going to be close to this 19,000 because I got this line here because I was doing my homework before. And where do I feel like this is potentially going to be? It's going to be right around here, this 1,900 level. So I do suspect Ethereum to pump by a couple $100s here in the next few days, right? In the chat, Crypto Muscle said he took a long from 21,250. Not sure how to take profit. Stop loss works. Dude, to each its own. I don't know how much leverage you're using. I don't know what was your reasoning to get behind, because if I look at your level, right, I guess here, if I were you, right, let me just say if I were you and I got in at 21,250, let's see what I would be thinking. Okay, yeah, well, you're saying we broke some resistance, right? Right where I took profit is where you got in. Honestly, I would say if this was me, right, not giving any financial advice, got to say that, if this was me, I would say that that's a relatively good entry. I'd be happy with that entry for a pump up to the next resistance of the 24,000, because what used to be resistance now could be acting as support. Where would I be taking my stop loss at? Because I don't want to have an arbitrary number, because if I have that, probably price is going to bounce off of it and I'm going to be mad because I'm going to lose. But if this was my trade, right? Let me just get in here and we'll say Here, let me get a different take profit in here. Dun, dun, dun. Let's just say long position, okay? So I got in. Where'd my first take profit be? Well, my first take profit would definitely be the $24,000 range, right? And where would my stop be? Because I want to be proven wrong. So if I'm looking at this, all right, so we've got a low here, then we've got a lower low, and then we have an even lower low. And then now we're bouncing up. This guy needs to retrace, and I would say we don't need a break below. What is this? Give myself a little bit of wiggle room here. Here, let me move this over just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Let me get rid of the volume here. And dun, 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 dun. I would say the 20,400-ish level would be where I'd be stopped out. And why is that? Because I want to break through a low. I want to break through a low. You don't want to have it above that because chances are it'll probably touch and you'll have something like this happen where, boom, you know, price, you entered, right? And then it's like, actually, we want to go down and we're going to touch off here. And then, boom, we're off to the races. And then you're the guy that's like, motherfucker, why did that happen? I got stopped out and it didn't happen. That's why you want to have your stop below a little bit of this stuff to keep in mind for the wicks. Like, for instance, here, right on the tweezer bottom, if you would have put your stop as the previous day low, it would have broke through. You would have gotten stopped out, right? That's no fun, okay? Because look at how if we're looking at past performance, because that's all technicals are, is it's past performance to help predict, you know, future price movement. If I just put in a trend line there, boom, it touched, but it broke through the next thing. I would have been out and I would have been SOL. I would have been very angry. And this is coming from experience, guys, that I have lost a lot of money trading that way, and it sucks. It took me a long time to learn, hey, I need to not have stops at such an arbitrary price of the previous low, you know, to the dot exactly, or, you know, a psychological even number. That's not what I want to have. So what is this? This is a 1-to-1 ratio. That's a fairly decent trade. So crypto muscle, I would say that that's fairly decent. If I'm looking at some of the stochastics, it's telling me that, hey, we're probably looking for some sort of a reversal. I don't know what you traded off of, if you decided to trade off the day or if you tried to trade off of the 1 hour, right? Because that's going to inhibit where you get in and get out. You know, because the rule of thumb is if you enter a trade on the 1 hour, you've got to exit the trade on the 1 hour. You don't use another time frame to use that. That's going to screw you up, okay? But we can see on the 1 hour how much support where his entry was. There's a lot of support where it's bouncing off of, okay? Which could kind of tell me that it could break below because it's just bouncing off of it. And again, you guys like my analogy where if you're breaking down a wall in a house, the first hammer is not going to do it. It's usually, you know, the fourth hammer, right? And before, you know, you long into something, you want to have like 3 touches. That's kind of the rule of thumb here. But, you know, there's 1, 2, 3, that's 3. Okay, so I'm guessing maybe you went off the 1 hour. Oh, and you do say you went off the 1 hour. So I was correct. But again, if I had your trade, right, and since we're on the 1 hour, where that's, again, I would be taking my take profit right around the 24,000 because we can see here on, move this up here, get rid of stochastics because it looks awful, right? We can see that we've got some resistance right about that 24,000. That's where I would take profit, would be the 24,000. I wouldn't close the trade, but I would take enough off the table to make it to where if I get stopped out, it's going to be a 0 for me, okay? And then truthfully, I would leave it open to see where it goes, to see if I was wrong and there was even a bigger pump to happen, which would be nice because you always want to be a part of it, you know? So that's up to you to decide, crypto muscle, how much you want to take profit. But if it was me, I would take profit. I wouldn't move my stop until I took profit again, and I would leave something open, something of the trade open, so I could be part of a move if it went up. But I wanted to make sure that I took enough profit to where I wouldn't be SOL if it went below, because a stop has to be something where you're proven wrong, because if it's not proven wrong, then again, it's just bad money management skills. You can see my take profit I have set up is down here, and even on the 1 hour, that's well below. What is a percentage below where that low is? All right, so you got a 2% wiggle room right in there, which is decent. That's what I would do. Okay, so crypto. I'm done with that question. Let me move on to Ethereum, and then, we'll move on. I don't want to take up too much time of their day. And last thing I want to do is I want to be freaking repetitive and just talk because I like to talk. Oh, Crypto Muscle, he is at 25x. So I take it you, all right. All right. He's at 25x, guys. He's at 25x. Okay. So I take it he entered this not thinking about the stop crypto. So it's okay. It's okay. We've all done it. You had a good entry. Okay. You had a good entry. Great. The thing that your trade is missing is you're missing a good stop. And truthfully, a stop is more important than an entry, because we can all just kind of randomly throw money. It's like going to Vegas. You can throw it, you can get lucky, you can have a good entry, right? But what differentiates the people that are lucky and the people that continue to make money, like you're sitting at a different table. So when it comes to trading, is you want to be the casino. You want to be the guy that's taking money from other people. You don't want to be the guy that's playing the game. Okay? And that's what technicals help us do, is it helps us give us more information so that we can tip the odds in our favor, as long as psychologically we hold to that strategy. So here, I doubt, because you're at 25x, I doubt that your stop is here. I'm on the 1 hour. I'm back on Bitcoin. Where the heck is that deal? Let me move this over here so it's easier for you guys to say. I doubt your stop, you could have a stop at 20,400. Your liquidation is probably a lot closer. Okay, which makes your risk versus reward good, but it also makes your chance of success limiting because you didn't have that good of a stop. I'm assuming. All right, buddy? So if you can learn from something, you want to look at your exits as far as your stop before you enter into something, okay? And again, we always want to make sure that we're not risking more than 1 to 3%, okay? 1 to 3% on a trade. Where's my calculator? Damn calculator. All right, so just simple stuff. If your trading account is $100, the way I like to trade is I like to be 1 to 3, okay? So if I times this 0.03, I could lose... Is that 33 times? I can lose 33. Do I have right math here? Divide by 0.03. That's not it. Okay, excuse me, guys. I'm sitting here being a trader, and I'm having an issue here with divide using a effing calculator. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Thanks for helping the chat. I can have 33 trades. I can have 33 trades basically that I can lose before I'm out. And truthfully, I like to stay around. If that's $100, you could lose 100 divided by 2, okay, 50. So, and then 100 divided by 1 is 100. So if you stay within that, your chances of success are greatly improved, because you could either lose 33 times in a row before you're SOL 50 times or 100 times. All right. It's a compounding effect. It's not about making money instantly, because I know a lot of people that have gotten really lucky, and, let's say they have a $100 trading account and they leverage the heck out of it, and they have, $90 risking, and they basically double their account when they win, which is nice, but that's not something that you can do consistently. Okay. You're eventually going to lose, and that account is going to go to zero. Just telling you, I've blown up many accounts, and that's not how you trade. You got to stay within 1 to 3. is the best advice. You could use all of the assets at once, but you want to make sure that your stop loss is only going to lose you, 1 to 3% of that money, or you could only risk, $3 per trade or $1 per trade type of a deal, depending upon your account size. And this is how big money makes money, because they've got a lot of money. Okay, they've got a lot of money. So when they're risking 1% of that, it's still an incredibly large amount that is in play. Right? That's how big money makes it. That's how whales make it. And that's why it's hard for the little trader that has $100, because, you can't risk that much. But that's how you're going to make it. Is like a day trader, they want to try to gain 1 to 3% a day, and just over the long term, in a month, that's a 30% gain, 30 to 60 to maybe even 90% gain if you make 3% every day, which is very hard to do. But all right, I'm going back to Ethereum here so we can talk about Ethereum. And I guess we're going to do this together because none of my lines seem to... Oh, that's because I'm on the 1 hour, right? I like the daily because the dailies... another deal about trading is the lower the time frame, the less convincing whatever formation, candle formation, pattern is. The longer the time frame, the more solid it is going to be. Okay, that's just something that you got to keep aware of, right? So if I'm going back to Ethereum, in synopsis, right, 1900 is the next target to relatively 2000. And that's where I feel like we're going to go before the merge. I feel like there's going to be a big pump here coming. And if things are going to tank, because let's just say worst case scenario, and if I'm looking at this, where would I say the bottom would be for Ethereum to bounce off of? Say that people were trying to get in. Where would price be holding up? Okay. Just move this over here. I would say price is relatively probably going to hold up above the $1,500 range. So if things were going to tank, right, the $1,500 guy would be a good entry point for me to potentially go long again if I felt like price was going to go up. And if I felt like that would be a good trade to potentially take, and I would have a stop, down here right around the 1400, because for me, the $1,400 level, that is really the oh shit level. And why I feel that area is because there's nothing in here as far as volume. A lot of people don't want to trade around the $1,400 range. They want to stay around the $1,500 to $1,700. Okay, that's where all this big level, all the action is there. So just hypothetically, if I were to think that Ethereum was going to tank, right, because we're getting rejected off of resistance of 1750, it went up a little bit more. It was 1782, but a good entry for me for it to bounce off of would be close to the 1500. It might be 1550 to 1500. That's where I'd probably adjust my leverage so that I would make sure that my stop loss would be under 1400, which would be like 13 something. Because currently, just so that I could tell you, my current stop loss level is right around, oh, where the heck did it go? Is right around underneath the 1400. Dude, go. Is right under the $1,400 level. I'm not super worried about this wick. I'm mainly worried about this potentially, engulfing candle here, right? But I told you, I already took profit on my Ethereum trade. And my next profit target is 19 to 2000 before I move this guy up. So I could play this area. And why is it that I had that? Okay, again, incredibly important. Why am I not moving my stop? Because I need to be proven wrong before I get out of a trade. It's not just hop in, hop out, hop out. I'm going to lose money that way. And I'm proven wrong if we break under 1400. And I'm telling you, looking at the chart, I see a good level of bounce as 1500. That gives me a good area to not be panicking that I'm getting close to getting stopped out. And because I already took profit on my Ethereum, I'm not worried about losing any money because I'm playing with house money. Okay. But now it's time for me to start thinking about making money. And my next area is 1900 to 2000. And what I found was interesting. Okay, enough with the whole trading chat. All right, what I thought was interesting was Ethereum, that 64% of it is staked by 5 entities, and that's 5 like almost centralized. I want to call them banks because they're exchanges. Whether it's Coinbase, Lido Finance, Unibella owns that much. Kraken, Binance. Binance is offering a good stake for Ethereum. They're offering like 6%, which is enticing. Coinbase is offering much lower than that. It's about 3%. I don't know what Lindo, is offering, but if I was to stake Ethereum, just personally, where are the exchanges that I feel comfortable with? Personally, I feel comfortable with Coinbase and Binance. Those would be really the only 2 platforms for me, for Johnny Crypto, to feel safe for staking his Ethereum. All right, because there still is risk in there. And you need to have 32 Ethereum to have an actual validator. But I believe on Coinbase, you can just, if you have $100 of Ethereum, you can invest $100. Or if you have $1,000 in Ethereum, you can invest $1,000 into Ethereum. I have, all right, just because I'm being uncandid and I want to teach people, and I'm just an open book, right? This SOB over here is an open book. I've got $100,000 staked in Ethereum already because I freaking believe in this deal. And it is kind of creating a little bit of biasism on my trading, and I understand that, but that's a human condition and a human emotion. Like I don't really want to short right now because I just feel so bullish about it, and I feel like my staked Ethereum is going to help me create that whole FU money. And if you guys haven't followed my theory, not my theory, but just overview, used to be a financial advisor. I got out of it because I hated effing selling insurance, and I feel like people need to be their own banks, whether it's dividend stocks or staking their crypto, and people just don't know how to do that. And so Ethereum, right? Let's just say on Binance, you have $1 million. Is that $1 million? That's $1 million. And, let's divide this by 0.06. No, I did that wrong. 0.06 times $1 million is 60,000. So if I have $1 million staked on Binance's chain, they're going to pay me $60,000 a year in Ethereum. I feel like people could live off of $60,000. And that's where I think a lot of people need to be looking for stuff, is they need to be looking for ways to be their own bank. And this is why I call this FU money, is because this is every year you're gaining this. You could get this from, and you don't even have to do it from Ethereum, okay? You could do, here, I have a Verizon phone. So I've been with AT&T before. I've been with Verizon. I haven't been with T-Mobile. Haven't been with Sprint. I believe in investing in stuff that you own and you use. What is Verizon's dividend? I believe it's around 5-6%. Okay. Here we go. Annual dividend, 6%. So same math as Ethereum. Okay, is you have $1 million in Verizon stock, and they're going to pay you, oh gosh dang it, you guys, holy crap, 0.06, that's 6%, times $1 million, 60,000. I don't know why that took that long to get that up again. Okay, is 60,000. So that's the whole FU money. Is, yeah, but $1 million is a lot. Okay, $1 million is a lot. But you are going to make $1 million in your lifetime. That's why you need to invest. That's why I'm a big believer in crypto and stuff. And trading is just to help get to those goals. All right, truthfully, I want to have $2 million in the investment assets so that I can have $120,000 a month in FU money. I'm relatively fairly close to just the $1 million right now, and I was above it when we were in the whole bull market here. But I'm a guy that is no different than you. I come from very little, and I'm just a big believer in pay yourself first and, dollar cost average into stuff. I don't believe about hitting big in the lotto, right? That's just not how. I don't think I'm that lucky. There's a difference between being the rule and the exception. 99.9% of us are the rule, not the exception. Okay? And most of the time, the exception, they're not telling you the whole story. Anyway, this is Johnny Crypto, guys. I appreciate everything that you guys have been helping with and staying in the chat. I guess here, let me answer Daniel. Bitcoin is doing okay so far. It's a hit. The imbalance. I bought Chiz. Do you think the World Cup will pump it? Chiz, I'd have to Google a little bit more about it, but if it's fundamentally good news, then yeah, it looks like ordinary to me. 320,000 followers on Twitter. You got to do more research on something before I would invest in something just to wait for something to pump. Okay. I'm a big believer in only investing in things that right? Don't be just because I told you to or somebody else told you to. You got to actually know about it and use it and have conviction before I'm going to put money at it. Like it's really, really crazy that I feel most people spend more time Googling, what shoes they're going to buy versus what investments they're going to buy. They're willy-nilly can just throw $100 into the Robinhood or $1,000 into the Robinhood and buy effing Doge and have no idea what Doge is. They just know it's probably going to make me money. And then they feel like they're one of the world's best traders. And guys, I'm not trying to take a dig at anybody if they are watching my video or in the chat and they had Doge, okay? It's a learning deal, right? That's how we get better is we learn from failures. That's how. That's why trading is so hard is because a lot of the times you fail. You can lose 60% of your trades and still make money. You just have to be okay with failing, right? That's how we learn, okay? But keep it pinned here to Johnny Crypto and Unfiltered Finance. I'm not your typical dude that talks about stocks and crypto, but I am here, conviction-wise, to help you guys, the middle class, make some money and change your lives.